Thank you very much. Zoltán Gyevai, Brooks Info, Hungary. My question is about the rule of law, the new events related to the new rule of law mechanism. As I understand, there is now a jungle. I'm referring to the Belgo-German proposal, which was discussed today during a breakfast meeting, and Mr. Timmermans was attending as well, as I understand. So we have now a kind of jungle of different proposals and initiatives when it comes to the rule of law. Mr. Vice President, how do you see that, how does the Commission intention to further develop this rule of law mechanism would fit into the German Belgo proposal? And my question to Mr. Ciamba, given that the European Parliament will have its last plenary session in the middle of April, do you feel that during the Romanian presidency, there will be any hearing when it comes to the Article 7 procedure related to Hungary? Thank you very much.
Well, you refer to a jungle. I'd rather see it as a rose garden, frankly. All institutions contributing with a spirit of cooperation to improving the rule of law in the Union and the Member States. The European Parliament, as you know, has given us a strong contribution on this. The Council is working on this, indeed, on the basis of an initiative taken by Belgium and Germany. And I was really struck by the fact that almost everyone who spoke this morning at the breakfast said that whatever we do, in addition to what we're already doing, it should reinforce the existing system, it should happen within the EU framework, it should use the capacities the EU already has, it should respect the position of the three institutions, it should use the external capacity from the FRA in Vienna and the Venice Commission and other institutions, Fundamental Rights Agency. I say FRA too easily for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about. So I see this as a collective effort to improve the rule of law in the European Union and the member states. And I also see it as an effort to say that every single member state should be prepared to be scrutinized and also to do a peer review. That is the essence of the initiative that the Belgian and German ministers took. So I see this as reinforcing the rule of law, and certainly not as a jungle, but it's a well-tended garden, frankly.
No, thank you as well. You know, actually about the peer review, I think we are on the same page, and you know, the presidency is supporting the idea to have this mechanism, and I think we are ready as well to have our own contribution as a presidency to the Belgium-German initiative. About exactly what First Vice President was mentioning, it's about the interinstitutional setup, it's about the three institutions. I think in the case of Hungary, there is an issue that has to be related as well with the setup of the institutions and of the different legal opinions, you know, that we get from, you know, different, so to say, actors that are part. So the presidency has to be a honest broker. It has to take into account, you know, what is the institutional setup and what are the legal opinions, which when it comes to a procedure that, you know, exactly is for the first time, it has no precedent in terms of being activated before from the Parliament. Thank you.
Okay, Gabriela, please.
Thank you, Gabriela Baczynska at Reuters. On the same question as Zoltán on the German Belgian proposal, Vice President, could you help us understand a bit more how does it strengthen the rule of law framework in the EU if it's voluntary, does not carry any sanction? You know, how does it build on Article 7, which has been stalled and sort of neither finalized, not cancelled on Poland for months? You know, the EU member states cannot agree how to move with Article 7 on Hungary. So what does this really change? It's a peer review without a solid mechanisms and voluntary. I'm lost. Thank you.
If I look back over the last couple of years, not just the last couple of years, for quite a long period of time, one of the biggest challenges we've been facing all this time is that the EU is very good at being critical of candidate states and the rule of law as long as they're not members. But once countries join the European Union, the member states sometimes have difficulty addressing each other's position on this. And I think this is an honest attempt by Germany and Belgium to create a space where member states could talk to each other about the situation in every single member state. But you should not see it, and that was clearly the position of the vast, vast majority of the people around the table this morning. You should in no way see this as an alternative to the existing instruments and the roles of the institutions as enshrined in the rule of law framework, as enshrined in the treaties. So it is an additional element that would allow member states to sort of lower the threshold of addressing the situation in every single member state and to have a form of peer review. But it can in no way replace the other instruments we have. And, you know, you pass some judgments on Article 7, etc., etc. This process is still ongoing, and I think it will continue to be in the attention, certainly of the Commission, but also of the Council in the months to come. This is not something that's going to be dropped or stalled or whatever. It's going to continue, I can assure you.
Thank you very much. That was all for today. See you later at the press conference after the JEC 50. Thank you very much.